is hoping that there's going to be some respite from this injury crisis that has really blighted his season. It's not the only problem, of course. Form of certain players has dipped, but Thomas Bosk absent for a large part of the season, now back, thankfully. But there's still key players missing, and you referred to Adam Mogg's departure. I understand that the Dragons are desperately trying to find a replacement for Mogg. In the UK or in Australia, they were thinking about Danny Brough, and Clinton Shivkovsky as well was on their radar. He's gone to Crusaders, so they really are trying to fill the breach there. But at the same time, they're hoping to get players back. Now, instead, they're losing players. The latest, Olivier Ellimer, who badly broke his nose in the game at Huddersfield, in the big defeat at Huddersfield. In actual fact, there he was at training yesterday when we caught up with the Dragons, with his broken nose encased in a bizarre plaster structure. As you can imagine, he took lots of stick from his teammates for that, but it is a very bad break, and he is going to be out for some considerable time as well. There is a bit of light on the horizon because Jean-Philippe Bale might be back soon, and that will boost them as well, and Chris Walker's suspension will be over. And in fact, they do have a big man back for this game, and a big bruiser as well in David Ferriol, who missed the Huddersfield game, so he returns, as does Cyril Stackel. But they do need other players back if they are to be really competitive. For Leeds Rhinos, well, Danny Badiris is rested. That is the term that the Rhinos have used. He is left out for this one. But they do have Carl Ablett back, who has missed the last 8 games, so he returns at loose forward. And Rob Burrow, as you've mentioned, starts on the bench. This then is how the two sides line up here at the Aimé Giral Stadium. At fullback for the Crusaders is Dimitri Pello. Then it's Stephen Bell, Dane Carlaw in the centres for the Dragons, Julian Tuxagas, Frederick Vacari on the wing, Casey Maguire and Thomas Bosk at the half-back combination. In the forwards, David Ferriol, Kane Bentley, Jerome Guisset, Jamel Fakir, Gregory Muniz and Dallas Johnson. And that isn't a bad Catalan Dragons pack, you know. And on the bench, Sebastian Martin is recovered from a dislocated shoulder, although not fully recovered. Tony Gigot, Cyril Stackel returns, and Andrew Bentley, only his second Super League appearance in 2 years for coach Kevin Walters. Now then, the Rhinos with Brent Webb at fullback, Lee Smith, Brett Delaney, Keith Senior, Ryan Hall, Kevin Sinfield at standoff alongside Danny Maguire. And in the forwards, Kylie Luluai, Matt Diskin, Ryan Bailey, Jamie Jones-Buchanan, Ali Lauatiti and Carl Ablett is back. Rob Burrow is on the bench for the Rhinos alongside Luke Burgess, Ian Kirk and Luke Ambler for the coach Brian McKellen.
So the Stade Aimé Giral, which Bill so brilliantly pronounced. Of course, we must remember that we were here in 2006, the opening night of the Catalan Dragons Super League life, and they beat Wigan on that occasion. They dispatched them with a big defeat. And there is a special mention there for Gary Kilmartin. It's a message for him because Gary usually takes the trip from Leeds to Perpignan for this match. He can't make it this year. He's not been too well. But obviously, Gary, from that little message from the terraces, all of your pals are sending you their very best wishes, and we join with that here on Sky Sports. That match against Wigan I was referring to as Leeds Rhinos prepare to come out here was February 2006. Catalan Dragons 38, Wigan 30. And one of the heroes for Catalan that night was Jamal Fakir. He ran in a try, a fantastic try, and that really did almost set the standard for the Catalan Dragons' adventure in the Super League from 2006 and beyond. Well, there is the man under pressure for the Dragons. It's Kevin Walters who is the coach. A year ago they enjoyed a perfect Easter. They won all 3 of their games. The last time these two faced each other, of course, was for a place at Old Trafford in the grand final last year. The Rhinos won 27-20 on October the 2nd at Headingley. It wasn't the most convincing performance from Leeds, but they got through to Old Trafford, and of course they went on to lift the trophy. Leeds are emerging from their dressing room. It must be pretty warm, I would think, below stairs here at the stadium in Perpignan. It has been a glorious day here. A perfect spring day. But the temperature, I think, will dip now as the sun sets behind the stand that we are watching from here. And Kevin Sinfield, who had a fairly big part to play in the match against Bradford on Thursday, leads the Rhinos out onto the field. This is a massive match for these two sides, Steve-O. I think particularly, though, for the Rhinos. Their championship defence is stuttering at the moment.
Yeah, they're fully aware of the responsibility. They're looking for their 4th consecutive grand final win, and as we all know, they're lying in the 9th position. They have to get back on track. We saw signs of that in that second half against the Bradford Bulls, of course, last Thursday. And Brian McLennan, their coach, will be buoyed by that fact. They did start to get something together, and incidentally, rather surprisingly, I thought for the first time this year that Danny Maguire and Rob Barrow actually started to work the miracles, work the magic. And yet, Brian McLennan will not start with Rob Barrow. He's on the bench, and he's obviously feeling that the influence of their skipper, Kevin Sinfield, playing at standoff, that'll give him more opportunities to combine with Maguire, but most importantly, he'll be able to get to the ball quickly and get the kicking game in order, something that the Rhinos have not done this year.
So Kevin Sinfield gets us underway here in the south of France. The final match of round 10 on this Easter Monday. Jerome Guisset takes the ball up for the Catalan Dragons. That's the first tackle of the match. The other significant change, of course, that Brian McLennan has made is he's immediately restored Carl Ablett to the starting lineup. He's missed the last 8 games with an ankle injury, has Ablett, and the man who is wearing number 18 will operate at loose forward at the back of the scrum here tonight. Leeds getting stuck in early. That's Bentley at dummy half. It's Guisset again who will drive it forward. Jerome Guisset, he started against Huddersfield on Friday. That was his first start since St. Valentine's Day, February the 14th. Now here's Big David Ferriol taking it to the 40-metre line for the Catalan Dragons. That's the end of this first set of 6. Watch for the kick here, and it's with Thomas Bosk inevitably. And the ball lands perfectly in the arms of Brent Webb, who will begin the response.
Well, it was a pretty good kick there by Thomas Bosk, but not the best chase by the French outfit. And you've got to remember that a lot of the players, they will be suffering because not a great deal of rest in between the 2 games, of course. And
one thing that you can say, though, Steve-O, is that Leeds have had the extra 24 hours courtesy of their Thursday night fixture against the Bradford Bulls.
And that can help, I'm sure of that. But Kevin Walters has had all sorts of problems. The mere fact they've had to utilise 2 forwards in the centres, surely that'll give the green light for the likes of Brett Delaney and Keith Senior.
This is Dimitri Pello, who is operating at full-back. He got a try against Huddersfield on Friday, also from the full-back position. Bentley with a scampering run from dummy half.
I think the one thing we are aware, if Catalan want to win this match, at some point they're going to have to take some risks, Eddie. You can't just grind out to win against the Leeds Rhinos. I'm not suggesting in the first 2 minutes they do that, but there'll be times in this match when they have to take a risk, play some sort of a gamble, whether to chip over the top or keeping the ball alive, playing that hot tempo without which you can't score against the Rhinos.
This is Casey Maguire. The ball is fumbled by Thomas Bosk. Good pressure from the Leeds Rhinos defence early on here. Knock on.
Just lack of confusion there. You can see they wanted to get the ball away. And in fact, it looked to me as though Lautiti got a fingertip to that. And it appears that Ben Thaler has given the head and feet, has he? He has. Well, the replay showed quite clearly, as far as I'm concerned, that Lautiti got a fingertip to it.
You know, Phil is exactly right. At some stage, Catalan will have to chance their arm. But what they need to do for the first 10 or 15 minutes, even 20 minutes of this game, is kick deep into the corner and chase hard. There's an argument for Catalan kicking on the 4th tackle and not letting chasers get onto Thomas Bosk. They've got to let him get a clean kick away.
This is Danny Maguire, and the ball comes infield to Lautiti, who's dumped to the ground. Lautiti, this is his first start of 2010. He's been a substitute in all 10 previously. There he is, the big former New Zealand international. Plays his internationals these days for Samoa. That's a good ball from Danny Maguire to Delaney. And an impressive tackle from behind by Frederick Vackery. Jamie Jones-Buchanan to Maguire disappears under the challenge from Guisset and Ferriol, the two big men up front. This is the last tackle, and here is Sinfield. Will drift the kick in, looking for Brent Webb.
Good positioning there by the winger Stephen Bell, it had to be. We mentioned the fact that a change. What a great run out down the right side. Bello.
Tremendous run from Dimitri Pello. Keith Senior just having a look at the referee, waiting for the signal to move after the tackle is completed. There he is doing it again. We saw this all the time, didn't we, in the Melbourne Storm game in the World Club Challenge. Nice little run here from Dallas Johnson. Ablett with the tackle with Diskin. There's Bentley, who's the dummy half. This now is Maguire. Tried to get the ball away and goes to Thomas Bosch. And Bosch with a kick to the corner looking for Vakary. Vakary gets to it. He's got support there with him, Vakary, but he doesn't release the pass. And Leeds come back and cover on the last tackle. Tuxagas waits at dummy half. Here is Thomas Bosch. Bosch with a high kick into the sunshine over there. Well claimed by Ryan Hall. Good defence on show from Leeds.
What a wonderful take by the winger. Ryan Hall, fingertip control. Not surprisingly, kick into the corner. He had a bit of problems with the sun, perhaps, if he was twisting. That is amazing take.
Well, that attack from the Catalan Dragons will certainly give them some encouragement, and that will as well, because the pass from Diskin judged to have gone forward.
Just slightly. Yep.
Just overran it, Lee Smith.
Nice move, though, to be looking for the winger coming back on the inside. Obviously, the Rhinos coach, Brian McLennan, working very, very hard over the last couple of days, making sure that they can break it down. They've got to pinpoint at Leeds. They've got to go for the two big fellas out wide in the centre, Carlo and Tuxagas.
Well done.
It's the Catalan Dragons then with possession from the scrum. That's not a very good tackle on Maguire. That's better. But Casey Maguire has the penalty here because Delaney had a second go at him. And the Catalan Dragons have the first penalty of the match. And they're running it. They're not interested in the two. They get another one in quick succession. Leeds this time are offside.
They've got to get another tap. They realise that the Rhinos' defence is all at sea.
Bentley back it comes to the big man, Ferriol. He was the man, of course, who gave Thomas the wonderful welcome to Super League in the colours of the Crusaders at Wrexham, you may remember.
On the line, Marcus, well done.
Bentley again gets it away to Ferriol, and Leeds are well aware of the danger that this fellow poses. Huge figure of a man, he really is. Kane Bentley once again at dummy half. Pressure on this Leeds Rhinos line. Maguire, good ball to Bosch. They have the man on the overlap wide. That's a very good tackle by Ryan Hall.
Certainly is. Came off the whitewash, made sure ball and all, couldn't get the offload.
Dane Carler it was. This is Jamal Fakir, and that's the last tackle again here.
Well done.
Pressure from the Catalan Dragons. The ball back with Bosch again. He dabs it forward, goes to ground. And the referee says he was taken out unfairly. It's another penalty. It's the third penalty in quick succession the champions have conceded.
Beautiful little chip through. No doubt about it. Luluai just stepped right across him. Well spotted by the official, Ben Thaler, and they're going for broke.
They are with Guisset, and I think it's a knock-on. Or has he got the ball down? Well, it's a decision for our video referee tonight, Stuart Cummings, to make early in the piece. Just checking the grounding. Was it a knock-on, or did he manage to get it down perfectly? Jerome Guisset.
Just held off him. The arms lunging as he got it down. Oh, it's hard to see. Closer, closer, closer. That'll be given. Fingertip control, I think this will be given.
Kevin Sinfield's arm. If it's not given, is it knocked out by Sinfield?
I think he's got his fingertips on that. I'd be going for the try. Stuart Cummings is the video referee. All the experience in the world. It's a wonderful effort, though, isn't it, by the forward? Guisset, I think he gets this down. There.
Oh, you can't see it from there.
I reckon you can see
now,
the
have a look now.
It's Kevin Sinfield's arm that grounds it.
And there was a bit of pushing and shoving, wasn't there, from the defenders?
Goal line dropout, then, is it? Tell you what, it's a hard way to restart this, I suppose. First, you've got to make a decision.
Well, it's a big call from Stuart Cummings.
But here comes the decision from the video referee. Everyone looking at the big screen. It is given the try. Steve-O got it spot on. Absolutely spot on. Jérôme Guisset. He started, as I said, the first time since February the 14th at Huddersfield on Friday. That's his first try of the campaign. And it's his 11th Super League season. 124th appearance here for the Catalan Dragons. What a way to celebrate that milestone. Catalan Dragons lead against the champions.
So many penalties, got them in the position. It all came about by the kick. It was taken out. Thomas Boss, quick tap, and they were very slow. Guisset, look, they should have got to him earlier. It's given. Stuart Cummins says it's okay. Well, if ever they need to kick up the backside, the Rhinos, they've just received it.
Guisset's try. French international 29 times. Thomas Bosch to try and add the extras. And from that range, that kick is academic. Catalan Dragons 6, Leeds Rhinos 0.
Well, I said that the Dragons had to take some risks if they want to win this game. They're also going to need an element of luck. I think we've just seen that with the first try. But I think what they had to do as well was convert 3 penalties on their opponent's line. They needed, I think, for their own self-confidence. Palliasina did it for Wigan on Friday. Guisset's just done likewise here for the French team.
Well, there was no sign of benefit of the doubt on the decision from Stuart Cummings, so he was absolutely convinced that that was our fair try. Here is Dimitri Pello. Leeds, of course, 20 all against the Bulls on Thursday night. They were 16-0 down and then 20 points to 6 in the second half. Then a great fight back to earn the point.
It was a slow start. You're right there at Headingley on Thursday, Eddie. And Brian McLennan will be furious at the fact that they allowed Guisset to get up ahead of steam before they realised and got their defensive line sorted out.
The Rhinos have dropped 11 points already this year. They dropped only 12 in 2009 when they topped the table and claimed that 3rd title in a row.
Kicking early on the 3rd. Not a bad tactic. Good chase as well.
Don't know whether Ryan Hall was expecting that. The pass from Brent Webb.
That's amazing. Jérôme Guisset, you know, I came down on the same plane as the Catalan side, and Jérôme Guisset, he couldn't turn his head. His neck was so sore, I thought he'd miss this game. Shows you how tough that guy is.
This is Keith Senior. 10 minutes gone. The Catalan Dragons ahead here by 6 points to 0. We all remember, of course, that 6 wins from the last 9 of 2009, including the playoffs, got them to within just 80 minutes of Old Trafford, and then they lost to the Rhinos in the game, of course, that the Rhinos picked. It was the match that the Rhinos selected under the new rule that came in last year. Oh, it's a horrible bounce. And he has swooped on it as Lauatiti. Here goes Luluwai. Here is Lauatiti. And Leeds are over under the posts. And the try is given without reference upstairs to the video referee. What a horrible bounce that was for the Catalan Dragons defender. But the most important thing you have to say is, under no circumstances allow a rugby ball to bounce, because that was what happened to them. The ball bounced perfectly for Lauatiti. A nice little piece of interchange play from him and Kylie Luluwai, and the big fellow over underneath the post. This, as I said earlier, is first start of the campaign, but his 5th try in all.
Got plenty of height, did Maguire. And as Eddie has mentioned, you do not let it bounce like that. It was a poor position. Nobody called. Pello should have gone for it. Good work, though, the combination between the Leeds players. Luluwai back on the inside. That is neat. Well, it didn't take them long to get back into it. Can he add?
Yes, he can from bang in front. Kevin Sinfield doesn't miss those. 6 all. Bright start from the Catalan Dragons, and Leeds with an immediate response.
Brian, do you think when a kick means that the winger or fullback has to run 20 metres plus, they become disinterested and think somebody else is going to get it?
Well, you always want to split the fullback and the winger, don't you? Danny Maguire, with not so much pressure on him, has managed to do that. That's going to cause the most amount of confusion. Good to see Kylie Luai's reaction there. A big prop, he's done a bit of work, kick goes up and he's chasing to set up the try for Lauatiti.
This is Ryan Bailey now, who will drive it forward once again for the Leeds Rhinos. He's played prop in the last 2 matches as well. Here is Jamie Jones-Buchanan now, man who needs a couple of tries for 50 in club football. And Kylie Luai. He missed the Wigan game. There's Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Luai plays the ball to Diskin, and Maguire through the hole. Just an ankle tap then by Ferriol. It was absolutely crucial.
Certainly was. Ablett was just on the outside of him. He would have raced away for a try.
This is Brett Delaney. And Delaney is being taken towards this outside. It's a penalty.
It's going to be a penalty. He's shouted held.
He's shouted held twice.
Well, I know it's a pretty big crowd here, but they should have been able to hear the official. That's the ankle tap. You can see Ablett was there. That would have been a 4-pointer, no doubt.
Keep going.
Leeds with another set of 6 here coming at this Catalan Dragons defence as Bailey drives it in again, right up the middle for the Rhinos. He's halted by Guisset and also by Kane Bentley. Diskin gives it to the runner, who is Luai once more.
Hold it. Quicker, come on.
Diskin again. Back it comes to Sinfield. Here is Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Oh, the defence was split. Thomas Bosk couldn't get to him. Neither could Julian Tuxagas. And Jamie Jones-Buchanan gets over for the second Leeds Rhinos try. Jamie Jones-Buchanan, the gun, goes to 49 tries in club football. He got a try in a 42-14 home win against the Dragons last year. So the champions are ahead here in the south of France.
And this is the penalty they gave away. They did not hear the official, Ben Thaler. And from this position, it is very simple indeed. That was so easy. The defence was not up to scratch. And this is one of the major reasons why Brian McLennan, the Rhinos coach, has brought Kevin Sinfield into that standoff position. It makes him work harder. He was the first receiver, and the delayed run by this fella was superb.
So, Sinfield, he adds the extras. 12-6 to the champions. And some faulty defence by the Dragons.
Well, it was a wonderful penalty set. What they did is take 2 drives into the middle, gather up as many Catalan defenders around the post as you can, and then have options both sides. Stretch the Catalan defence a little and put a play on either side. You're going to ask questions of the defence.
So Bosk with the kickoff, shallow, picked up by Delaney.
Well, it's amazing how a game can just turn around in the space of a few moments. Just lack of concentration that allowed Lauatiti to score the first try for the Rhinos, and then, of course, poor defence.
Here's Bailey again. Oh, an awful tackling again up the middle by the Dragons. This is Diskin. Short ball to Luai.
He's going to have a field day, is Matt Diskin, today. Realising no Badeiras, so therefore he's looking to perhaps go the full 80.
That's Ablett, and he is halted by a 3-man defensive tackle.
Dave, come on.
Diskin again. Finds Sinfield. He will drill it along the ground. The bounce kind in the end for Stephen Bell, but look at the chase from Leeds. Although they won't be too happy with that tackling.
Move, Danny! Wait. Go, well done.
Jamie Jones-Buchanan, big hit then.
Certainly was. That lifts your side.
Well done.
Catalans, of course, they really have now to try to furrow down the middle, make sure that their kicking game is solid. They would have been cock-a-hoop with the fact that Jérôme Guisset got them off to a flyer. But then lack of concentration, as I say, they've allowed the Rhinos back into the game. It'll be disappointing their coach, Kevin Walters.
Here's Jamal Fakir. That's the last tackle. Leeds have restricted the Catalan Dragons to 40 metres territory forward. The kick under pressure will again stand, and Lee Smith picks it up. He steps away from Bakary, gets away also from Johnson, gets a good pass inside to Brent Webb. That could have been a flop, and indeed was
a flop. Yeah.
And Eddie, go back to Kylie Luluai's effort on the charge down to put pressure on the kicker. This is the result from that.
But that is very, very poor play by Fakir. All the hard work had been done. Then Carlo went down on the full back and then just gives away 30 metres. We're pulling his hair out, will Kevin Walters.
Be careful when we flop them, be careful.
So Leeds Rhinos will start this set of 6 from midway inside their opponent's half, and it's Luluai once again. And certainly the big fellows fancy taking on Catalan down the middle.
Go.
Diskin. Here's Ablett.
Surrender!
Carl Ablett.
Stand up!
He had an ankle injury he picked up in the knock against Castleford in February. Here now is Lauatiti. This is Senior, and Keith Senior has too much strength for them. Another try from Senior, another try from Leeds. They went behind early, but they have responded like champions. Got a bang on the back of the noggin by the looks of things for his pains, Keith Senior. He got a try when Leeds lost to London Broncos here in 2005. It was a match that was taken on the road before the Catalan Dragons joined the Super League party.
Super run by the hooker, Matt Diskin. I said he was going to be enjoying it this afternoon, or late evening, should I say. Back on the inside. This Catalans defence is just falling apart. They're just not getting themselves there in numbers. Just sucked away. You can see there that Stephen Bell had come about 15 metres back on the inside. There was no way they're going to stop the big fella, Keith Senior. Been around a while, all the experience in the world. He knew he had the power to get over. Big problems for Kevin Walters. How on earth is he going to shore up this defence? Which, since they took the lead, well, they've lost the plot slightly.
Well, Keith Senior got a try in the 58 points to 10 win against the Dragons on this ground in 2006. As I say, they also played here in 2005 against the Broncos. That game on the road. When the Dragons came into Super League, though, they played here one game in 2006. And they won easy on that occasion, and they're leading here by 16 points to 6. Sinfield has missed the conversion.
Well, pretty simple. You need your markers up at defence. If the man behind them play the ball, in this case Matt Diskin, sees one man still on the floor, he's going to run, and all of the defensive line then has to alter accordingly. You're bound to find a shortage, and with the skill that Leeds have and their experience, they'll exploit that fully.
You know what, Phil, you're exactly right. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Catalan test the referee in slowing the tackle down, because it's what they're going to have to do. Try and give away, if you have to give away a penalty, do it down this end of the field, but see how long they can slow the players down.
Wait! Go, well done.
Just 2 wins so far for the Catalan Dragons, without 11 first-teamers for their Good Friday defeat 48-6 at Huddersfield. And there was a couple of debutants as well. Here goes Senior again, the support either side. It's with Maguire. It is a procession to the line for the Leeds Rhinos. The Catalan Dragons have got no answer to this at the moment. They've scored now 4 tries in 8 minutes. Danny Maguire with the try, and that is his 170th for the Leeds Rhinos. Bang on course, this young man, to become only the 5th player to get 200 tries or more for Leeds in the entire history of the club. And he could go a long way towards nudging that 200 mark here tonight. 170 now, Danny Maguire, and Leeds have turned a 6-0 deficit into a massive lead here.
Beautiful quick hands. The offload from Lauatiti to the fullback Webb was superb, and as Eddie has mentioned, how many times have we seen this guy go right down the middle, knowing that the ball will come back, and that's exactly what he does. Superb offload, Lauatiti. He knows exactly where it's going to be, and so did Keith Senior and Maguire. He's turned it on its head this game.
There is Danny Maguire, 27 years old, 12 times a Great Britain international, 7 times an English international, 6 tries for Super League, 15 now. And Kevin Sinfield, slightly easier conversion attempt, and he obliges with the extra 2 points, 22 points to 6 from 6-0 down. Maguire.
You know, you often see scoring surges. We saw it when Wigan played at Bradford, Eddie. One team get 20 points, then another get 20. It does happen in this game. Catalan somehow need a shift in the momentum again, and I'd almost be tempted here for a short kick-off, Brian, because they need the hands back on the ball.
They need the ball back, but I'll tell you what you won't see. You won't see this Leeds team take their foot off the accelerator. They need to get their season back on track and lay down a marker in Super League.
Well, there have been some massive wins already in the Easter programme, and as you say, the Leeds Rhinos will want to put a marker down for the rest of the season. And as far as Danny Maguire is concerned, he's been a major threat to the Catalan Dragons in the previous 4 years they've been in existence. He's now scored 12 tries in 11 meetings with them. He loves playing against the Catalan Dragons, either home or away.
But the confidence is now running through the veins of this Rhinos outfit, and they're running right from the dummy half. They've got no answer to it. Out wide again. It's the risk you take when you get two forwards out in the centres.
Here's Sinfield again, pops it up to Ryan Bailey, bounces off would-be tacklers. They can't put them down, they can now. That was the last. And it's with Sinfield once more. They're running it on the last. They are running it wide with Delaney forward. I think the referee came to the Catalan Dragons' rescue then.
Yeah, I thought the Maguire pass just a touch floating forward.
Nobody mentioned the word momentum, please.
Maguire spinning the ball, and I think you'd have to agree that the pass to Brett Delaney, though it just emphasises the problems that Kevin Walters has, is that inexperience with forwards out there in that centre position, and that's why Leeds are quite happy to get it out wide as quickly as possible.
On paper, a fairly dangerous fixture for Leeds. All right, they've won all 5 home meetings against the Catalan Dragons, but they've lost 2 of 4 here in Perpignan. Plus, they, as I say, they played against the London Broncos on this ground, and they lost in a game that was taken on the road pre the Catalans' appearance in the Super League. So not the happiest of hunting grounds, Perpignan, prior to the last 24 minutes. They lead 22 points to 6 here, scoring at almost a point a minute now.
Back
That's
to 6.
knocked forward by Maguire.
No
The referee
advantage.
will put the scrum down.
Well, they knew exactly what was happening.
Let's hand to it.
Just got the fingertips to it in the end. It's been a great servant, though, to the Rhinos. And I did mention that the Guisset try that really may have just given them a good kick up the backside, and they have responded well. It must be very pleasing for Brian McLennan. But I've been impressed with the way that Leeds have been just completely pushed around in and around the play the ball area by Matt Diskin. 2 quick short passes to getting over the advantage line. Quick play the ball out wide. There are the gaps.
Let's get some injury news, Bill.
Yeah, problems for the Rhinos because Kylie Luluwai has had to leave the field, and it looks like a rib problem he's being treated for at the moment. And just ominously for the Dragons, who seem to be wilting already and looking a bit dispirited down here, Rob Burrows seems to be warming up, ready to inject his pace into the game.
Well, that was all right. That was the 3rd feed at the scrum that was okay. Got the green light from Ben Thaler, and so Leeds having this set of 6 to defend. This is Gregory Muniz.
Move! Hey, guys, wait!
And once again, it's Kane Bentley in at dummy half. Leeds muscling up in defence.
Stand up! Don't hold on to Martin!
And once again, it's Muniz taking the battle forward to the Leeds Rhinos. Thomas Bosk in at dummy half here.
Good.
And this is Andrew Bentley. He's the brother of Kane Bentley, the elder brother of Kane Bentley.
Go 5!
Maguire with a kick to the corner, into the sunshine again. Well claimed by Ryan Hall, but he was jumping from in the field of play into the in-goal area. It's a goal line dropout. He's been tested twice by those high balls. He's come up with the goods on both occasions.
Yeah, not a bad option either. Just put it through. He was under a lot of pressure from Stephen Bell, but that's the 2nd occasion he's diffused it.
You say he's been tested. Stephen Bell hasn't contested, though, either of those 2 kicks. The first one, he waited around the back and hoping that Ryan Hall would miss it. That time, maybe he was a little late in getting there, and he elected to tackle him and push him into the in-goal area. But you'd expect somebody like Stephen Bell to get up high in the air with his hands above his head, hoping to catch the thing and ground it.
Jamal Fakir running it back for the Catalan Dragons here. Great start for them. They led 6-0, but it's 22-6 now, as you see at the top of your screen. That's a drive in from Sebastien Martin.
Hold it! Hold it! Go!
Bentley once again the dummy half. And it's to the other Bentley, and he loses it, Andrew Bentley.
That's 0.
He was just stepping back on the inside there, and it's completely off balance. No chance of taking it on. But I've been impressed with the way that Leeds have really got themselves sorted out. Defensive patterns, no one is coming out of the line. They're going in as a unit, moving up quickly.
Ryan Hall.
Surrender!
7 tries against the Catalan Dragons last year alone for Ryan Hall as he plays it there to Brent Webb. Here is Senior again.
3. Movement! Wait, well done.
Sinfield ball infield, and this is Luke Ambler. Gets the ball away. It's Brent Webb, and it goes wide to Ryan Hall. He bounces off Bell. Pello is there to halt the progress.
Sure, there was a forward pass from Senior to Webb, Eddie.
Maguire, infield it comes to Sinfield, the kick from Sinfield, looking for Lee Smith wide, and he goes out and sails on the full. That will be taken back to where the kick was taken.
Come down, guys, 4th tackle.
Well, struggling to get back in their defensive line, and they don't look all that
Come down,
eager,
fellas.
the French outfit.
4th tackle.
There's a pass that Phil referred to.
Should have been a penalty, shouldn't it, in theory, but anyway, they've it's not been spotted, and Catalan need everything for them at the moment, Eddie. They're still within a chance of this game, but if Leeds score again, it's all over.
What they have had, Phil, a couple of times they've had a look at this right-hand edge of Leeds. Catalan have stacked up numbers on their left. They just haven't found the right pass on this right-to-left shift when they get near the line, but they have had numbers at times.
Don't forget Boots and all the tries, which is a special Easter edition.
No, it's okay.
It's coming tomorrow evening on Sky Sports 3, repeated as you see on Wednesday Sky Sports 1. Every try scored from this Easter holiday campaign. Angela Powers and Terry O'Connor will guide you through every single try scored in the Super League over this Easter holiday.
Hold it. Marcus good.
That's Tony Gigot, who was the dummy half, this exciting teenager who was featured in the last 3. The man who had a spell with Harlequins but never made the first team last year with them. There's Thomas Bosk. That's a poor kick of a man of Bosk's quality. Straight to Brent Webb. It's just not going right for the Catalan Dragons at the moment, is it?
No, they're really a little bit down. The heads have gone down slightly, and as I say, that kick there from Thomas Bosk would not help matters. Right down the throat of Brent Webb. Whereas Leeds, they really are gaining more and more confident. Putting some nice shifty move back on the inside.
Luke Burgess, Maguire, short ball to Jamie Jones-Buchanan.
4. Move. Hold. Gregory, come on.
Diskin, they come down the short side again with Maguire. Here is Delaney.
5.
Delaney couldn't get away from the tacklers who were coming in there. Vakary completing the tackle. Maguire, well, he was tackled without the ball then by Vakary, and the referee spotted it.
Not the best option when it was on the last. Leeds, as I say, full of confidence. You start trying things like that, you know you're up against it. And with the scoreline at 22-6, that's even more pressure.
Well, that's a penalty you don't want to give away. 5th tackle when you're under the pump. Oh, look, a silly penalty from Vakary. He's had a couple of good runs in attack, but that's a poor decision in defence, and he's put his team under an awful lot of pressure now.
He has, because here come the Rhinos again, starting this set of 6 from 10 metres out, and Burgess driving it up the middle again.
Hold it.
Senior screaming for it out on the left.
They're going up the middle though with Ambler.
2. Move. Hands out.
Diskin once again. Look how close Leeds are. This is Maguire. Back it comes to Burrow, who's on off the bench.
Surrender.
Takes the tackle though from Muniz.
Go.
Here's Diskin. Sinfield. Ball was put down. Knock on. A shame for young Luke Ambler. I think he thought the try line was begging for him here.
I think maybe he thought he was going to be a dummy runner, and it was going to be left up to Luke Burgess to come in on the angle. Either way, just couldn't get it in. Now, it has been very, very warm down here today. There is a bit of a breeze, but boy, both sides look as though they are really struggling.
Well, second game over the Easter holiday programme, of course, for them, for all of the gladiators in the Super League today. And some one-sided scorelines. Not at Odsal, though, where the Bradford Bulls just got home against Crusaders. That was a close-run thing.
Surrender.
And Brian, what a great win for Warrington today at Hull. That was a sensational victory. That almost confirms them as a real chance this year.
Well, a difficult place to go, Hull, and Hull had a great win, of course, on Good Friday against their neighbours. So, yeah, it's a good win, but I think the standout winner this weekend has been Salford's result against Huddersfield. That's been pretty phenomenal.
Has indeed. This is a knock-on by the Catalan Dragons. Couldn't take it in, Casey Maguire.
Now Delaney had him all lined up. He's the key factor for the French outfit this evening. If he can get things swinging about, he's been first receiver for the majority of the time that they've had possession.
Well, he's playing standoff tonight, Steve-O, isn't he? And a lot of responsibility on his shoulders as well, as you say. Last two at hooker. I mean, this is the problem with the Catalan Dragons. They just haven't had a settled side this year at all.
Too true.
Delaney gets the ball away brilliantly to Brent Webb. Here is Senior, who'll run powerfully. And he gets it away, and that went backwards off Lauatiti. Brent Webb will play it here to Ryan Hall. He'll find Sinfield. Sinfield ball in field again. The Catalan Dragons defence are really under the cosh here, and it's Rob Burrow. Burrow, back it comes to Maguire, dabs it through. Delaney, it's a walking try for Brett Delaney. Well, they're coming out with all the tricks in the book now, the champions. They are being allowed to, I must say. Catalan Dragons tonight just do not look up to this task that faces them. The champions desperate to get their season back on track, and by the looks of things, 26-6 up in the first half. I think they're going to.
Ball came about by the drop ball. Maguire could not keep it in. Beautiful kick, this. Oh, superb. That is unbelievable. They realise they've got them for pace. They realise that the positional sense is not brilliant. And Delaney, he'll be delighted with that.
It was almost a carbon copy of the try that he created for Lee Smith on Thursday night, wasn't it? Danny Maguire has the ability and the vision, I think, when he sees the space on that right-hand side. He loves drifting over this side. And I'll tell you what, if he doesn't do it with his footwork, he can no short sides, he'll beat them through the kick.
And that's right, he's got a pass. He couldn't find a pass there because the winger had flown in, but he's such a natural footballer, he can drop it onto his foot straight away and put an inch-perfect kick in for the try.
So Sinfield now to try and add the extras. And he's pushed that the right-hand side of the posts. 26-6 though. Leeds Rhinos ahead. It's all a little bit too easy, I'm afraid, at the moment for Leeds.
It certainly is, and against the big fellas like Brett Delaney, and also the fact that Sinfield taking that standoff position was a smart move by Brian McLennan. I sort of doubted against him and thought, well, maybe will it work? Well, it certainly has for the first 20 minutes. And of course now he's thrown Rob Barrow into the fray. And they're going to have to really work hard, especially out wide, to get that defensive line solid.
This is Ambler again for Leeds.
Wait.
You play it to Diskin. Oh, and Diskin goes without it.
I just want to praise him because it's been his distribution that has enabled Leeds to get over the advantage line, but he was going from A to B before he got the possession. He knew where he wanted to go. He'll be disappointed with that.
He will. Matt Diskin, almost 250 appearances for Leeds now, and well, he's kept his place in the side this year despite the presence, and indeed most of last year despite the presence of the great Danny Badiris at Headingley. This is Andrew Bentley trying to get the arms free. Now Gigot from dummy half finds Thomas Bosk. Back it goes to Maguire. Maguire short ball to Fakir.
Great tackle by Rob Barrow. Right round the ankles. No fuss.
Good drive there from Sebastian Martin. 4 tackles gone. Catalan Dragons threatening the Leeds Rhinos line here. Good ball, and Johnson's over. The referee hasn't given it though. He's handing it upstairs to Stuart Cummings.
Just check that, Stuart.
Wants to check the grounding.
I think he gets it down. He's got control over that. Looked as though it bounced slightly, but no, that's a try. That'll be easy for Stuart Cummins to put up on the screen. TRY just wants to make sure that's okay.
Dallas Johnson has not yet scored for the Catalan Dragons. He's dropped it.
There'll be question marks in our game if that's given as a try.
I reckon it will be given.
I'm not saying that I'm not going against you after the first one, but this, me looking at this, I think he's dropped this ball.
Well, the referee's gut instinct told you, didn't he, there was a doubt.
And let's see, well, the try is given. Draws applause from the crowd. The first try for Dallas Johnson for the Catalan Dragons. And the key man for Melbourne under Craig Bellamy. 4 grand finals. And also a World Club challenge. Johnson gets his first try in the Super League.
Came on the bump, didn't he? No one went low. They both went high. They were both off balance as well. Ambler couldn't do anything about it. There's an old saying, they can't run without the legs. And nobody decided to go low. Good try.
Well, maybe Steve-O's got a future as a video referee because he's picked out 2 there that the Catalan Dragons have scored against you 2.
He's got a future as a commentator.
It's Thomas Bosk. Doesn't miss those. Reduces the deficit. 26 points to 12. Well, it's not as bad as it might have been for the Catalan Dragons because for a long period of this first half, they had no answer to the Leeds power.
You just wonder whether they're thinking that, stood waiting to take the kick, restart here now. I don't sense from them there's a belief that they can come back and win this game or even be more competitive than what they are. Perhaps it is the fact it's the second game, but maybe they look flat and there's a lack of enthusiasm with players wanting to be around the ball.
Well, there's one who wants to be around the ball, and Leeds standing up to the challenge down that right-hand side. Well, there's an opportunity here now for the Catalan Dragons with 2 minutes to half-time.
It certainly lifted the spirits, and they had to score, and they knew that. Coach Kevin Walters, it would have been a very difficult job to try to lift their spirits in the dressing room at half-time.
Phil, do you think it's here's another penalty for the Dragons? Do you think it's a matter of concern to Brian McLennan, the fact that they've been threatening the line twice and they've scored on each occasion, and that's all, really?
No, I think they're doing quite well. They're 14 points in front, to be very happy with that. They've shown some good touches in attack, and there's been an element of doubt over both. And while your players are bending the backs and tackling like that, as they've just done on Fakir, you know they're still interested.
This is Andrew Bentley again. That's the second tackle. They should get right through this set of 6, the Catalan Dragons, providing they don't put the ball to ground. And here comes Maguire. That's a nice, neat pass to Tuxagas. It's his first appearance, by the way, of 2010, Julian Tuxagas. The 60th appearance of his career.
Well, Dallas Johnson, I think he was just trying to offload there, but he lost control, so it'll be head and feet to the Rhinos.
It's his first appearance here in Perpignan for Tuxagas, by the way. He did actually play centre against Huddersfield on Friday as well. Was that ball knocked out?
There might have been a little finger from Burgess. There he goes, his left hand. And I think...
It's very difficult for the referees, though, isn't it? I mean, we have enough trouble seeing it on slow motion. And they have to make an instant decision.
Move! Go, Green Dimitro. Well done, hold it. Hold. Go, good.
Sinfield short pass. Good leg drive. It was from Ian Kirk, I think. Here is Ambler again. No, it was Luke Burgess who had the good leg drive in there to create this opportunity. Matt Diskin, the dummy half for Leeds, gets it wide to Burrow. Burrow then, there is Kirk. He's looking to offload as well. Can't do so.
This will be the last play. Will they go for it? They're going to the short blind.
Kept alive. It's kept alive. It's gone to ground now. Ryan Hall just grimaces, wanting to get the pass away to Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Couldn't do so. Well, 6-0, the Catalan Dragons led. Jerome Guisset's try, converted by Thomas Bosk. And that seemed to be the spark that Leeds needed. They ran in tries from Lautiti, Jones Buchanan, Sini Maguire and Delaney. They led 26-6 after 34 minutes. Dallas Johnson's first try for the Catalan Dragons just before half-time gives us a respectable scoreline here in the south of France. Catalan Dragons 12, Leeds Rhinos 26.